everybody, I just wanted to do a book review because I finished, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And this is a classic, and I know a lot of you have read it in school, but I never did. This was the very first time that I was able to read this book, and people for a long time have been telling me that I should, and that I'd really like it, and so I've been kind of putting it off. But since the movie was coming out, I figured now would be a good time to just go ahead and do it. So, in case you don't know what The Great Gatsby is, I can read the back to you, so here it goes. The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald's third book, stands as the supreme achievement of his career. The exemplary novel of the Jazz Age has been acclaimed by generations of readers. The story of the fabulously wealthy J. Gatsby and his love for the beautiful Daisy Buchanan of lavish parties on Long Island at a time when the New York Times noted gin was the national drink and sex was the national obsession. It is an exquisitely crafted tale of America in the 1920s. The Great Gatsby is a true classic of 20th century literature. So that's it. First I'd like to say that I am not afraid anymore. I used to be really intimidated to review classics, but I'm not. No more. Because F. Scott Fitzgerald is not going to come after me if I say bad things about this book. So I'm no longer afraid. And if you're a big fan and you're offended by anything I say, I'm sorry, but I promise this is just my opinion. Anyhow, this book is short. It's only 180 pages. And at first, I wondered how a book that is supposed to be so epic and important can fit into 180 pages. And honestly, I'm still not sure. But I'm going to say that I was amazed with the time that F. Scott Fitzgerald took to write the descriptions. They were all so well worded, and they were really nice to read, and he described things in a way that's not like a standard description of something. It was like his own description that was completely different than any way that I would ever describe it. So it was really, really awesome. And kind of overwhelming at times. It got really wordy in descriptions, but I always went back, like if I found my mind kind of drifting off of the pages, then I would always go back and reread his descriptions, because they were flawless. I wish some of the characters were better developed. I know you can't really develop a lot of characters in 180 pages, but a lot of characters were like kind of passed by in the beginning and then came back later on, and you're like, oh, that person was actually important to the story. But at the time, they just kind of seemed kind of like nothing. But I guess that's kind of when you meet somebody you don't really know their whole backstory, and you don't know how important they'll be later on. So I guess that was probably maybe done on purpose. Maybe. Scott Fitzgerald? Thoughts? Just kidding. You can't give me any thoughts. But, yeah, overall, a lot of the characters I wish I knew better. Gatsby. Do you know him? I do. I know Gatsby. I loved Gatsby. What a heartbreaking character. I mean, oh God, I loved him. I loved his depth. I loved his flaws. I loved his heart. I mean, Gatsby was a guy that I'd like to know. But not a lot of people got that chance. Gatsby was kind of a mystery fellow, which I also loved about him, was that, you know, he always had people around, but he didn't, like, get to know these people. They were just people to have around. Like, nobody really knew Gatsby the way that he opened up to Nick, who was the narrator. Yeah, I loved him. The end was infuriating. I thought I was reading a completely different book, but I was wrong. And Nick was wrong, and Gatsby was wrong, and we were all wrong. And that's life. Sometimes you're wrong about what's going on. And that's just kind of crappy sometimes. But in the end, I gave it 4 stars. 4 stars. Because I loved this book. But I'm mad at this book. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. After I finished it, I called my husband and I was like, "What was that? What was that?" Ugh. Anyway, no spoilers, but that was my reaction. But I loved it. It was so good. I hate that. I hate that I love this book and hate it so equally. Anyhow, if you've read The Great Gatsby, which I'm sure you have, go ahead and write in the comments. I would love more than anything in this whole wide world to know your thoughts on The Great Gatsby. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay, you don't have to tell me. But I'd really like it if you did. The movie's coming out in May. I'm really excited. Although, from the previews I saw, the trailer, I feel like the background looks really futuristic, which I don't like. That's my gripe on that. Next up, I'm reading, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to tell you guys about this book. I'm reading The Last Days of Summer by Steve Klugger. Excuse me, Steve. I'm way more than halfway done with it, and I cannot wait to talk about this book because it's love this book so far. So, stay tuned for my review. Hopefully, I will be just doing nothing but just loving on this book because that's what I'm doing right now. So, unless things make a terrible turn for something unexpected, I'm going to be gushing about this later on. So, thank you for watching. I love you all, and I hope you're having a wonderful week, and a wonderful day, and a wonderful month, and I hope you guys are so excited for spring training. I mean, for spring, or spring training, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.